Most of the people you know do not understand that life is a game to be won. You can see that they are stuck, tired, and bored. By the end of this video, you will not only know what the game is for, but also how to play it and win. Let's get something out of the way right away. Life is a game of making plans. You don't even get to decide if you want to play the game. You don't get to choose who you play as or where you land on the map. The good news is that as you play, you can change how your character looks. The goal of the game is to build a life you're proud of with the resources you have. You are the only one who is in charge of this. Life is a single-player game with quests that players can do together. You start out alone and you will end up alone. There are quests that can only be done with more than one player, but in the end, it's up to you how you want to play the game. Managing your tools is all it takes to win. Time is your most important resource. It's the only resource you can't get more and later in the game, so you have to keep it safe and use it for long-term goals. Money also plays a big role. So do your relationships, your health, and your willingness to give up things. And the only way to know how well you're doing in life is to play it. If you get what you want in life, that's the only real test of your IQ. The rest is a bunch of crap. Think back on your life and how you grew up. Your youth is when you learn the most. You don't have much of a say in how the story goes. You just have to stay alive and know the basics. You soak up the culture and habits of the people around you like a sponge. And that's where your version 1 software gets installed. The trouble is that the game is set up so you can't win. Here's why parents teach their kids about a world that is one generation behind. That's where the lesson falls short. You get a general idea of what life will be like, but nothing specific. You learn the game by watching your friends play and by joining in with them. As you figure out who you are, small decisions change your path. You may not have thought about this the way before, but the seat you pick in class will affect the rest of your life. Because when we play with other people, we become just like them. Your mom told you not to play with that kid who ate dirt because of this. You'll be the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with for as long as you live. When you finish school, life goes from being a straight line to being like a big open world. You are free to move around and see the world for the rest of your life. Every place doesn't have the same chances to grow. Since you're on a lower level and life is a game of handling resources, you need to get more of them. Farming for minerals is different in different places. If you change where you are, it will be easier to make some progress. The rules of the game make it possible to win, no matter where you are on the map. But some parts of the world are a lot harder to play than others. You're lucky, because the version you're playing right now has more options, walkthroughs, and guides than any other version has ever had. Because of this, you follow us on YouTube so you can get this kind of information. Here's the thing. Everyone else is playing the same game as you at the same time, but they are on slightly different tasks. When you find out that other people have won the game you are about to play and you can learn more from them, you change the way you totally play. At the beginning of the game, your main goal is to gain experience. You just farm XP until you can level up. As you play, though, you unlock more stories and get better at the game. Along the way, you can play mini games like sports, entertainment, dating, travels, or sex. But don't think about that side quest as the main part of the story. The main difference between video games and real life is that the goals are much simpler in games. Quests are the basis for how games are put together. First, you have to talk to this person. Then you have to go there, fight this dragon, and bring back the item to get the prize. You won't be told what to do next, which is the only change. You're going to have to find that out on your own. The truth is that everyone knows exactly what they need to do to win at life. But unlike video games, where you can change the speed or level of difficulty, life has a pretty simple pace. It's like a Super Mario game where time only moves forward and never backwards. There are 2 main sets of rules for the game: the laws of physics and the laws of society. In a funny way, the more we think about it, the more we understand that life is the only game where unfortunately your skin does matter. That has a lot to do with the rules of society we talked about before. The tasks you have to solve get harder as you move up in levels. Right now, everything hard in your life is a test to see if you're ready to move on to the next level. If you can't figure out how to solve a problem, it's because you don't have enough knowledge or tools to do so. So either go back to farming for resources or look online for a lesson or walkthrough. When a problem or task comes up, you can either A, solve it, or B, find something else to do. So be careful what you choose, because getting distracted won't help you reach the top of the mountain. How you play the game will affect how the other players act. The more you do, the more you'll get out of it. Do not dream. Don't whine, because none of these things will help you move the game forward. If you want to really get ahead, you should work on your skills. Choose your skills carefully, because some are more important than others. Skills don't add up, instead they increase, so skills build on top of each other, and the results are very strong. As you get older and learn more about life, money becomes one of the most important things you have. Figure out money, and all your money problems will be solved. Working for someone else makes it very hard to get rich, so start your own business and see what happens. In the beginning, you will need to trade for money, and time is the most common thing you can trade. Be smart about how you spend your money. The best way to get money is to help people with expensive problems who have the money to pay for the answer. Your first few years should be about making money. You need a lot of money quickly, so be ready to give up as much as you can to live on less than you can afford and get those gold coins. Willpower is very important, but it gets weaker as the day goes on. So use it as much as you can in your workflow, and once you get good at it, don't spend the money you've made, invest it. Most people work and buy things afterward. People who win at the game of money work and spend, and the money they make from those activities pays for the things they want. You win the money game when you no longer need to make money to live. At this point, the money you make from your investments is more than you need to keep playing. So you can do whatever you want. Kids change the way the game is played. They waste time and energy, and they also add chance events to the mix. At this age, personal growth is much slower, so it's best to solve as many day-to-day problems as possible so that kids can stay hopeful and focused on finding solutions. The easiest game to play is to be a pessimist. Just point at everything and say it's bad and can't be changed. Congrats, the game is just a waste of your time. Don't ignore how time moves. Too many people think they'll still like the game when they're older, but some quests you can only do now and will never be able to do again. Time moves at different speeds as well. The 4 years between ages 14 and 18 are much longer than the 10 years between ages 25 and 35. All that matters is how you use your time. Games are meant to be fun, but they should also be difficult, so take on tasks as they come. Even though life may seem like an order of skills, you can still enjoy playing a game if you're not at the top of the leaderboard. To be happy and satisfied, everyone is playing the same game. Your memories from childhood are proof. Playing a game with fun people makes it much more enjoyable, so choose to play with those who make you laugh. You will meet NPCs throughout your life. Be nice to them, because they are there to help you have a better trip. How hard life is for you will depend on how you treat people who can't do much for you. It doesn't matter what other people do if you play to make your life the best it can be. After about 29,000 days, you see that every player has died. It's been around 80 years. Check to see how many days you've already been there. Most likely, there won't be a second chance when this is all over, so you only get one shot at this game called life. So do your best. Be proud of your highlight clips and the people you went to the game with. Join the team. Make memories, and above all, know that life is a game that never stops being hard. That is, you only win the game when you decide you have. If you don't, you'll spend all your time playing trying to reach an endpoint you'll never find. And this is where there are two different ways of thinking. One who thinks that life is a game with rules that they can break however they want. The second way of thinking is that life is like a movie with a story you can't change and an ending you are unable to change. Tell us why you think the way you do in the comments. We hope that everyone will gain from what you say. You get almost everything in life, but not everything. You have to be clear and ready to decide. Why? Because you only have a fixed amount of resources. No matter what you do, there will always be an opportunity cost. You can be more than one thing at once or at different times. This is good news. You can get anything you want in life as long as you're ready to figure out how much it will cost and work hard for it at the expense of everything else. Most people don't get what they want in life because they aren't ready to change into the kind of person who deserves it. When you change yourself, the world around you also changes. In life, things tend to work out in a pretty straight way. Do this, get that, so all you have to do is do it. We want you to really think about what you want out of life and change the way you think about growth. Start looking at life as if it were a game. You get to play this game, which will be so much fun you won't believe it. If you treat it like that, you'll love every minute of it. Too few people ever get better. They can't do anything but play the same game over and over. The game seems dull to them, but if you know where there are hundreds of levels in the game, why would you think level 10 is enough? Accept the task and follow the story to see where it goes, because it's about how to get ahead in life.